Most authors are supposed to give readings in order to tell people about what's in their books. I've given a few in bookstores here and there, although I have a hard time actually simply reading from any of my books. I get excited about what I've written about, and I want to just talk about it with people, tell them the latest as well as what's in the book. But I've been thinking that there are a couple of pages in my book, The End of Materialism, which so nicely summarize the question of spirituality versus materialism that I'm going to try reading a couple of pages. This is from pages 2 to 4 in the introduction. Before I give a more formal introduction to this book, read and think about the following. In 1872, Richard Maurice Buck, a Canadian physician and psychiatrist, had the following overwhelming experience. Buck coined the term cosmic consciousness to describe what happened to him, as well as similar experiences of others. Since he thought of himself as a man of science, devoted to factuality and accuracy, he wrote about his experience in the third person in an attempt to be as objective as possible about it. This is his account. It was in the early spring at the beginning of his 36th year. He and two friends had spent the evening reading Wordsworth, Shelley, Keats, Browning, and especially Whitman. They parted at midnight, and he had a long drive in a hansom cab. It was in an English city. His mind, deeply under the influences of the ideas, images, and emotions called up by the reading and talk of the evening, was calm and peaceful. He was in a state of quiet, almost passive enjoyment. All at once, without warning of any kind, he found himself wrapped around, as it were, by a flame-colored cloud. For an instant he thought of fire, some sudden conflagration in the great city. The next he knew that the light was within himself. Directly afterwards came upon him a sense of exultation, of immense joyousness, accompanied or immediately followed by an intellectual illumination quite impossible to describe. Into his brain streamed one momentary lightning flash of the Brahmic splendor which has ever since lightened his life. Upon his heart fell one drop of Brahmic bliss, leaving thenceforward for always an aftertaste of heaven. Among other things, he did not come to believe, but he saw and knew that the cosmos is not dead matter, but a living presence. That the soul of man is immortal. That the universe is so built and ordered that without any peradventure all things work together for the good of each and all. And that the foundation principle of the world is what we call love. And that the happiness of everyone is, in the long run, absolutely certain. He claims that he learned more within the few seconds during which the illumination lasted than in previous months or even years of study, and that he learned much that no study could ever have taught. The illumination itself continued not more than a few moments, but its effects proved ineffaceable. It was impossible for him ever to forget what he saw at that time and knew. Neither did he, nor could he, ever doubt the truth of what was then presented to his mind. Here are the kinds of questions this book is concerned with and moves toward answering, even if not answering as in any final sense. How would you feel if you had such an experience? Would you like to have such an experience? I certainly would. What if Buck's experience is literally true? What if the cosmos is indeed not dead matter, but a living presence? What if we have souls that are immortal? What if the universe is so built and ordered that, without any doubt, in spite of all the apparent evil in the world, all things work together for the good of each and all? What if the foundation principle of the world is indeed what we call love? And what if the happiness of every one of us is, in the long run, absolutely certain? Now we come to the contrast. But what if, as contemporary science seems to tell us with certainty, Buck's experience resulted from some kind of disordered brain functioning? That the cosmos is basically dead matter, and that life is merely an accidental, ultra-complicated chance arrangement of that dead matter? What if we have no souls or spirits, and instead we're just material creatures who will die? What if there's no order in the universe but that of physical laws? No purpose, no working together other than what's forced by physical laws, and certainly no coordination or coordinator of these blind physical forces that cares a bit about the good or bad of each and all of us? What if, as contemporary science seems to tell us, the foundation principle of the world is nothing but mindless physical laws and properties? And what if the happiness of every one of us is nothing but the effects of chance events and various biochemicals circulating in our body? Wouldn't you like to believe that some version of Buck's experience is true? I certainly would. On the other hand, do you hate to be fooled or feel foolish? I certainly do. The End of Materialism, how evidence of the paranormal is bringing science and spirit together, is about how we can rationally think about these issues as much as possible.